This tutorial demonstrates measuring areas and distances and tagging features with their distance to another map feature. Use the Info tool to see the length of any line segment or the size of any area feature. For example, if I make the landmark area layer the working layer, then choose the Info tool and click on a landmark, you'll see that the area is reported in the Info window. If your units are in miles, then the area is in square miles, and if your units are in kilometers, then the area is in square kilometers. So for example, here you can see that the MetLife Sports Complex is 0.8 of a square mile, and Central Park is 1.37 square miles. You can also use the Measure Area tool to find the size of an area by clicking on the map. Draw the perimeter of the area, and double-click to close it. Maptitude displays a dialog box with the size and perimeter of the area that I drew. And if I want, I can also change the units. Use the Measure Distance tool to find the length of a line that you draw on the map. Draw a line and double-click to end it. Maptitude displays a dialog box with the length of the line that I drew, and again, I can change the units if I want. Use the Measure Angle tool to find an angle. Click at 3 locations to form the angle, and Maptitude will display a dialog box with the angle in degrees. You can tag features in a point layer with their distance to features in another layer. For example, I've already used Create a Map Wizard to make a map of my employee locations. If I make the employee layer in this map the working layer, and open a data view of it, I can add an extra field to it by clicking the Modify Table button, clicking Add Field, changing the format to a real number, and naming the field. I'll call this field Distance, and click OK. I can now fill this empty field that I just created with the distance for each employee to the office. Simply highlight the field and choose Edit, Fill. Choose the Tag option. Choose the office layer so that I can compute the distance to the office, and choose to tag with a distance to feature. When I click OK, Maptitude calculates the distance of each employee to the office and fills the column with the results. And you can now see that if I switch to the map and click on some of these employees with the Info tool, their distance to the office is shown in the Info window. And I can also create a color theme to illustrate the distances. And that wraps up this tutorial on measuring distances and areas.